Joint mobility is one way to warm up the muscles and get in tune with how to isolate different parts of the body. Joint mobility can also help you identify which parts of the body are tighter and require more focus for flexibility and mobility work. Today's focus is going to be on the shoulders and the upper spine, or the thoracic spine. The flexibility and mobility of the upper spine and shoulders is incredibly important when it comes to kettlebell sport. For many people, this increasing flexibility in the shoulders and upper spine is the best way for them to get higher numbers in their kettlebell sport sets. So we're going to start with the 4 different ways that your shoulders move. The shoulders can elevate or lift up towards the ears. They can depress or push down into the body. Shoulders can protract or pull apart, and they can retract or pinch together. So keeping in mind those 4 different ways that your shoulder can move, we're going to start with some single arm circles. But be really intentional about these circles. So as you start, think about protract the shoulder, reach it forward, elevate to lift the arm up, retract or pinch it back to bring the arm behind the ear, and then depress as you flip the thumb and bring the arm around, pushing that shoulder into the body. So again, protract, elevate, retract, and depress. Protract, elevate, retract, and depress. So once you've got the hang of this, try to make it nice and smooth, and go for about 5 to 10 arm circles here. Then you're going to go ahead, reverse direction, again taking your shoulder through those ranges of motion as it comes around. So once you've got 5 or 10 there, go for 5 or 10 in the other direction or on the other arm. And then reverse. Next, we're going to take the arm out of the movement and just isolate our shoulders. So we're going to take our shoulders through those same 4 ranges of motion, but now we're going to keep the arm stationary. So I'm going to make a fist, plant my arm here, keep it straight as I just isolate and move the shoulder. So I like to call these choo-choos because they kind of look like the wheels on a train. Okay, so taking that shoulder through its protraction, elevation, retraction, depression, and then make it nice and smooth. Once you've got that, reverse, and then other side. Next up, we're going to do some twists for our shoulders. So getting into some internal and external rotation of the shoulder. So I'm going to start with one side. What I'm going to do is I'm going to elevate my shoulder, so that means lift it up towards my ear, then I'm going to flip my palm and let my shoulder internally rotate. Externally rotate back out, internal. Might get some snap, crackle, pop, so you feel that shoulder getting a little bit of movement in there. And then go other side. Elevate and then rotate. Doing that elevation is going to allow you to internally rotate the shoulder. If you don't elevate, now you're just moving your arm, you're not moving your shoulder. So elevate, then rotate, so you get that full movement through your shoulders, rotational range of motion. Then you can go ahead and put it together. So one palm up, one palm down. We're going to just twist through the shoulders, pushing as far into that range of motion as we can. Good. So now we've kind of loosened and warmed up the shoulders. We're going to work on the upper back, or the thoracic spine. So we're going to start with just protracting and retracting shoulder blades, which is going to allow movement in that upper spine. So I'm going to just about 10 to 20 here. However many you need to really feel like you're getting some movement through the upper spine, some stretch. Next, we're going to try to isolate the rib cage. The rib cage is attached to our thoracic spine, so if we can get our rib cage to do some moving, we can get our upper spine to do some moving. So what I want you to do is trying to keep your hips stationary, bring the ribs to one side and then to the other. Okay, so as if somebody kind of poked you and you're trying to get away. Keeping those hips stationary, the ribs are moving side to side. So then we're going to combine the protract, retract we just did with our rib cage movement and go for some circles. So we want to think about getting that protraction and retraction of the shoulders going throughout this movement. So I'm going to use my side to side, and I'm going to use my retraction here, and then protraction as I come around. So I'm protracting, pulling my shoulder blades apart, retracting as I come around. Then reversing direction. If that was challenging for you, it takes a little practice to kind of get it to actually feel smooth. So the more you practice and run through that joint mobility, the smoother it will get and the better you will be able to isolate the shoulders and the T-spine throughout the rest of